All right, what's up, guys? Today we are doing the donut blend, donut store blend, because that's just what I'm feeling right now. Got it right here. I need to go get more coffee soon. I need to go food shopping this week. So, gonna get that cranking. Yeah, so we're getting a little bit of a late start today because I went a little bit later last night than planned. I was really enjoying the WoW hardcore dungeons, and those take a while. So I ended up streaming later last night than I intended, and got up a little late today. I managed to finally solve the issues I've been having with the creating the logo for the new channel, but just barely. I managed to complete the step that I've been working on for 3 days, but now we're at the point where I need to go live. So we're going to worry about that tomorrow. In general, I feel like Kick is the place to be now. And I feel weird saying that because I've always had interesting things to say about Kick. Not a huge fan of gambling or the site stake. I believe everyone should have the opportunity to do it, but I don't like the way it ruins lives and often targets children, especially through gotcha games and things like that. But here's the thing: Twitch is absolutely fucking cooked. Just recently, they banned a man for nothing. And meanwhile, the woman who was like absolutely just going in on him, using all kinds of uh, anti LGBT and even some racial slurs. Now, she's black, but she used the N word with the hard R, which I'm sure anyone who's spent some time chilling with people on the streets knows that that still carries its own separate connotation. The milk's downstairs. And meanwhile, this other creator who's also black, he got banned for simply calling her out, defending himself. She was going around like biting people, making them uncomfortable, other dudes and stuff. So he didn't even straight up call her out for sexual assault and stuff. Just was like, yo, this is weird. He gets banned from Twitch. And nothing happens to her, of course. Now, after the backlash, they unbanned him. But also, just go in and look, Twitch is sinking their own ship massively, where not only are their users starting to decline for the first time ever, it's very slight, but it's starting to go down. Also, the graphs of their user base is really telling. They had massive growth and then it just flat plateaued. Normally, you see like a little taper off as you start to reach your potential, but that graph suggests that instead of allowing themselves to reach their potential, they actually put a hard cap on their own potential because it just absolutely stops growing at some point. And now it's starting to peter off. And I feel like there's three reasons. One is creators leaving and getting fed up with their bullshit, unfair, obviously biased enforcements and ban policies where like Tectone can get banned for calling a creator fat, but that creator that he called fat doesn't get banned for saying soldiers should have PTSD or supporting terrorist propaganda. So it's really one of those things is illegal in the United States. The other one is not. I'll leave it to you to guess which one. It's really not looking good as far as the optics, especially from the creator side. From the viewer side, I don't really know why the viewers are leaving, but my guess would be mostly from creators moving to other platforms. The viewers are occasionally going with them. Uh, are there other reasons? Quite possibly. But the biggest thing, which I feel is the final nail in the coffin, or maybe it's just the first nail in the coffin, but the advertisers are actually leaving in droves. There is a massive dip in advertising revenue. This is like the second wave of the Twitch adpocalypse. And I believe it's mostly uh, the fact that most of these are very, what word am I looking for? Sanitized. The big advertisers are the very sanitized companies like Coca-Cola, Honda. Honda just like dropped the whole streaming team, if you're not aware, because of a GIF on Twitter, a GIF, uh, GIF, whatever you want to call it. GIF is technically correct in my opinion because graphics interface format or whatever it's called. GIF, hard G. Random thing to go in about, but the big thing is like it was just a random tweet of a nuke, and Honda dropped this whole esports team because of one guy's random tweet. And these are the guys that are leaving Twitch because like they don't want their ads shown next to terrorist propaganda, essentially, things like that. So there's been a massive downfall in Twitch advertisements. Normally, what happens is throughout the year you see ups and downs with income. Now, I'm not big enough to really see that much Twitch income from ads at all. I get like $1 per stream max, I think. But there are people that get 10, 20, 80K per stream. And what they're saying is normally you see things really peak around Christmas and then peter off throughout the winter and start to come back during the summer. And the peak happened around Christmas, things petered off during the winter, but the really telling factor is that the things haven't started coming back during the summer. In fact, they're still going down. So this time, the advertisers aren't coming back, at least not yet, not the big players. And meanwhile, if you look at Kick's viewer base is still going up. Now, why not YouTube? Because YouTube has its own problems. YouTube is absolutely a highly censored, highly restricted platform where you can't really speak freely. Now, it's not as bad as Twitch because at least you know where the limits are, what the guidelines are. Like there's definitely some types of free speech that are pretty much entirely disallowed at this point. Like firearm creators are in a very, very tough spot on YouTube. Anyone that talks about the news or anything can't actually tell you what's going on. They have to use words like a Pedialyte or PDF file instead of just saying, yeah, so this guy is sexually assaulting children. You're not allowed to say that on YouTube. God forbid you call someone out for their evil deeds. But so YouTube definitely has its own problems, especially from the creator side. The worst part about YouTube is that it's a shoot first, ask questions later as it comes for strikes and bans and things like that. So just to like test and see if I'd be able to do some music streams on YouTube of me learning to perform songs and stuff, I was listening to an artist I intend to cover, eventually during my stream yesterday. And before my stream was even done, they took down the VOD. So what that's gonna mean is there's gonna be lots of streams, and I got a warning. I didn't get a strike or anything, but I got a community guidelines warning where I had to like fill out a whole thing, and my warning will be removed in 90 days. And if I do it again within 90 days, then that's the strike one. But basically, what that means is I just won't really be able to stream on YouTube because while I could argue that it's fair use because I'm doing educational and commentary content, the problem with that is it's up to the content ID holder to review that before YouTube will get involved. And then if the content ID holder doesn't release it, then we have to go to court. And it's just a whole bullshit thing where half the time what happens anyways, I know this from past VODs, is where the content ID holder will just ignore your fair use claim and leave it up there until it times out, at which point it will automatically be removed and taken down. But then during that entire period, which I think is like 30 or 60 days or something like that, that the content ID owner has time to claim it and review your dispute, it still stays up. So that means like for that entire month or whatever that I have that strike because I was trying to learn to sing a song or I was listening to a song that's part of a diss track and giving my own thoughts and opinions on it, which are both under fair use, because that's educational or commentary content, then I can't upload more stuff or I get another strike, even if it is within fair use. And if you get too many strikes, YouTube just deletes your shit. So YouTube is in a rough spot too. And Kick is one of the only places that you can actually stream normal everyday content without getting in trouble. So it's kind of insane because Kick is also the place that Kick has a really bad reputation because of it's all the place that all the insane nuisance streamers hang out on and people will just stream themselves doing crimes and stuff. But it also seems to only be the place you can even stream normal stuff anymore. So we're going to keep doing the Kick streams, and if I ever get to a point where I can't afford to do the 3 stream subscription anymore, we're just straight dropping YouTube. Because at this point right now, it seems like I'm gonna have to turn off the YouTube stream for a lot of the content I'm doing anyways, which is kind of insane because YouTube's like the OG, and it's just unfortunately in some ways the worst platform to stream on. So yeah, we're starting a new YouTube channel though, but the problem with that is I'm gonna tell actual news. So I'm sure even if it blows up, it's never gonna get monetized because I'm just gonna report the news without censoring it. And even if it does get monetized, it's gonna be like the yellow mark, which means it's partially demonetized. So once that's going, I'm not asking for anything yet, but it's going to take me approximately 15 to 20 hours a week just to upload that one hour video per week. Once that's going, I would appreciate support to help keep that going. I'm going to do it regardless of whether I make any money from it or not, just because I feel like there's too much misinformation out there, too many intentional misdirections or lies of omission that are forcing people to think into certain ways that are just entirely bad for them and bad for the world in general. So I'm doing it because it's part of my mission. Whether or not that channel makes any money, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing other things to make money in the background. Like I'm going to be developing phone apps and things like that, but this is getting this off the ground is my number one thing right now. That's what I'm doing the uh, logo and banners for, and we're just gonna start it out rough, and I'll add animations and stuff as I have time. But the goal right now is really, even with my setbacks, just to get it going next month. Originally, I was hoping to do the first week of the month, but I don't know if that's gonna happen now. I was hoping to have it out maybe by the 9th, but end goal, we're gonna finish it by the end of next month. We'll be uploading, hopefully much sooner than that. But yeah, so Twitch is fucking cooked. I think for the first time ever, it's actually legitimately on a downhill slope. And unless they like get a new CEO in there who goes in and cleans house, it's not going to turn around anytime soon. YouTube is exactly the soulless corporate beast that it's always been. So there's really only a limited amount of success to be gained there, especially at least for someone who wants to speak the truth. You know, if you're willing to just fall in line and accept that the nail that sticks up gets hammered down, then YouTube's a perfect place to go make money, especially if you want to just churn out endless amounts of AI slop. You can make an AI slop channel and get millions of views within a couple of weeks. But if you want to make real content on YouTube, it takes months to get that stuff started, and you'll maybe get like 1,000 views if you're lucky. So YouTube is definitely still there for people that love brain rot content. But if you're trying to do something bigger than that, YouTube doesn't really work for that anymore. So we've got Kick and Twitch for live streaming. YouTube's still gonna upload the VODs that I can that won't get me banned there, but someone just needs to make a new website at this point. And if I have the time, it'll be me, but I don't have the time right now. So I gotta get this video wrapped up so I can get back to get the stream started, and then work on everything else I'm doing. I still got like an hour of things, maybe at least 20 to 40 minutes of things to do before I can actually start the stream for today. So we're getting started a little bit late today, but I will be live probably by 7 at the latest. I'll see you once I'm live. Cheers.